New, Marcus. This is new.
Yeah.
I can tell you were jacked for this.
Keeping it fresh.
Is this the Trump dance? Are we doing?
I don't know. Yeah, right?
That is on trend. Let me tell you.
It's like The Undertaker coming out.
Yeah.
Episode 117, Joel Fleischman Happy Hour podcast. We have Joel and we have Jules here today.
We are still working on some 6-pack of Oktoberfest.
I got some Untitled Art Florida Seltzer.
Beautiful.
A little blood orange pomegranate. Mm-hmm.
We probably should start drinking Carbless since they are a customer of ours and local.
Are they really a customer? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they are. Yeah,
Okay.
they're building through us right now, so shout out to them.
Very cool.
Yes.
Great story. Hey, write that down. See if they would come on our podcast.
For sure.
That would be
Dang,
awesome.
they'd be great to have them on.
They have a story.
Cool, they do, and it's such a simple story. Mm-hmm. So
I know somebody that
maybe
works
it's
there, too,
complicated.
so.
It seems simple. So
Yeah.
please.
That's awesome.
You can reach out to Plokar.
Ben.
Plokar as well might have the contact, but
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
may
my
have-
wife went to high school with the guy who started it, so in the Holstein. Yeah.
Well,
so.
then you have an actual contact.
But
Okay, cool.
I don't know how well they know each other. She's just like, oh, Carbless, it's local and whatever. So.
Yeah.
But
Love that.
Good.
Cool. Yeah. So just before we clicked play here, we were talking about being on the phone and having conversations and trying to put down the phone and just be present. And we're talking to Joel about prior, whether it was newspaper, Sports Illustrated, taking notes, years ago without having your phone or different things to kind of take notes on. And Joel was just mentioning that he likes Kindles and didn't really need to take notes per se. So in the past, I guess, when you were reading things and consuming, how would you just kind of keep those nuggets and thoughts in your brain to kind of move forward?
Well, one thing is I think when people read, and I think it's a beautiful habit when they take like these little oratory notes alongside. I wish I had that habit, but I don't. I can read. You think other people can do exactly what you can do. You don't really realize that. It took me a long time to realize that. I can a lot of times go back to what I read on the page. I see the page in my head.
Really?
I don't have a photographic memory, I wouldn't call it. My daughter, Macy, shout out to her, is wickedly smart. She can. When she was really little, 5 or 6, I'd say, Macy, can you read that out of the book? She's like, yeah, I'm reading that out of the book right now when I'm telling you, Dad. Like, oh, you can do what I can do.
Yeah.
Really?
So, like
Jackson, Marcus, is there?
my 2 other boys, no, do not have
No.
that. They're wicked smart, but in different ways.
Okay.
Not so much being able to read it off the page.
Yeah.
So
That's
I can
neat.
retain a very, very, not 100%, but I can retain nearly 100% of the books I read.
Is that why you think you can get through things quicker then? Book
Correct.
to book and stuff like that
Right.
then?
Well,
Okay.
why I can read books so fast is a little bit was the stress test of college when I had an English degree. And I drank 4 nights a week, and I didn't
Orange
study.
juice?
Yes, and I didn't study. So you'd end up in an English degree, at least at that time, and in small little Oshkosh, you'd have to read about maybe 150 pages of very hard context a night, or maybe to the next class. Shakespeare, Moby Dick, very hard content. And I would let that go, so I'd have to read like 400 pages in 2 days.
Wow.
So I learned to read really, really quick and retain really, really quick. I had a trait for it, but then that was I honed that in as well.
Do you listen to if you listen to something, do you listen to it on double the speed?
2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Impressive.
I can do 1.5. Anything more than that is
I'm
too
about
quick.
1.5.
Right? Yeah.
1.5 is correct. 2.5 is obnoxious.
Yeah. Impressive.
I don't know if it's impressive or
I know.
not, but
To me, it is.
but it also speaks to one of my greatest weaknesses is that I cut in people's conversations too much, and I'm not a great listener because I want to get to the end, just like when I read.
Yeah.
So I have to let people have their thoughts too.
Kinda
But
have
that's a
that
great weakness of mine.
Anticipation sometimes. I think I do that sometimes, where I anticipate what they're going to say, and sometimes I'm like, just kidding. I'll let you finish.
You do. I just jump in, and I'm like, I already know where you're going. Can I just say it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like I know the finish line. Let's go. Next subject.
Yeah.
That's not a great trait. That doesn't speak well.
But is that also a way that you feel like you can kind of let the person know that you can kind of understand what they're trying to say as well too, to kind of connect the dots, as opposed to me going deep into the forest with a story and you're like, hey, I already know what you're trying to say here.
Yeah, I do think when I'm at my best, that's what I'm doing. When I'm at my worst, I'm just trying to speed things up.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
So a little bit of both.
Yep.
But yet I need to let that person have their voice, even if I am agreeing. I can just nod my head and let them finish their thought for 10 more seconds, God forbid, right?
Yes.
But yes, I can retain the books I read, which is a little bit why I enjoy reading, because I can spit it back pretty quick and spin it into something else because I can retain it.
So Jules has a phenomenal list here. We did this a while back. I thought it went really well. Where it was probably 2.5 months ago, roughly.
Yeah.
And then she's got some this or that at the end. But just before we get off the book topic, I know it's been brought up once or twice in the pod. Have you ever thought of having somebody write a book for you or writing one yourself?
Bradley Hartman has offered to do that, and we've actually agreed to do that at one point. Shout out to Bradley from Behind the Back podcast, best lumber consultant in the nation. And I said it's just not me at this point in my life. We were actually going to document the non-commissioned sale process,
Sure,
which would have been cool to document because it worked out exactly like maybe we had hoped. Would have been a cool story, but not me right now. I wouldn't say never, but I'd rather be a little bit behind the scenes unknown.
Yeah.
If
somebody came to me the story of Drexel and they could sell me the story of Drexel without it being about me, I might bend an ear to that.
What would the title be if you were to pick one just off the top of your head?
That I do know. If I wrote a book, because I always do the airport thing. You need that catchy, right? You need that catchy cover page.
You do.
You're at the airport, that one. Fire fast.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That I'd be like, I haven't read a book like that before.
Yeah. I'm going to open that one.
I think so. Fire fast.
I'm going to expect. Yeah.
From a marketing standpoint, would it be like bright yellow, bright, to kind of grab you? Like, I bought a few books at Barnes & Noble, not going to lie, that I was like, I might be interested in this. And I know it was partially because it was just bright
color.
yellow.
Yeah. That works. That works.
It does.
It's got to be blue, though, right? Blue and white.
True.
But yeah, it's just big fire fast.
Yeah.
Firing people as fast as you can, blah, 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 the story of Drexel, right?
Cool.
I heard that it's kind of like an audit to like go to the library or go to like the bookstore and like look at all the colors, look at the fonts, like what's trending,
Psychologically, what's telling you what's trending for sure.
So cool. Cool. Well, yeah, let's talk some favorites, life, business, Drexel. Tell me what would be your favorite Drexelism. I don't know if you have one, but if you could pick one, favorite Drexelism or Albertism, it's our language. What would come to mind?
So cheesy, right? I just kept saying supply happiness, right? Like easy button.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we talk about at Drexel in its own culture.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I don't have one is I don't realize they're a Drexelism. That's my life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of saying like, what's your favorite part of the English language almost? For other people, I understand they're like you have no idea what we're talking about, do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about for you two guys? What's like when you came here and like what's resonated for you? Like that was wild, but everyone seems to know what that means.
I kind of like the it's not the fruit. It's the root.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like just building that strong foundation and the processes, and I just realize just how curious we are, like how often we question, like, why do we do it this way? Should we do it differently?
I could answer now.
Yes.
And it's my current one.
Okay, and there might be like some like that.
I think it's more of the mantras of the day.
Yeah.
My brain is always more. I'm glad I don't have tattoos because I'd have about 100 at this point because that spoke to me so good. Like 2 years ago it would have been Fall 7, Rise 8. I was on that for like 2 years as my favorite one. Right now, and I've been coaching this in development days to everybody. Right now is crisis versus opportunity. So Jules, when I say crisis, what's the word you think of?
Scary.
Marcus?
End of the world adversity.
Fear, failure, panic, crisis.
Yeah.
Opportunity, say it. One
Exciting.
word.
Growth.
Yeah, growth, change, fun, winning attitude. It's the same thing. Everything is either crisis or opportunity. This is Thanksgiving season right now, so I've been telling the development team is, if you don't believe me, go to Thanksgiving. Aunt Barb's going, oh my gosh, the crisis. The kids are outside playing with their mud. Can you believe Jules and her family didn't come this year and they went to the Packer game instead? Oh my God, it's just not the same without them. Crisis. Oh, and Uncle Phil didn't bring his corn. I mean, we don't have any corn, right? And then you always have Uncle Fred with opportunity. Kids are outside in the mud. Good, they're wearing that out, right?
They're outside, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Jules and his family's going to come over later. It'll be a little more intimate with them later. That's totally fine. And it's a little smaller group, which gets to know everybody, right? Oh, the corn didn't come. Oh, we always have enough food, and I never liked your corn anyway, right? That's how that works. So professionally and personally, opportunity, not crisis. Study that, guide that, lead that.
Yes, I love that. Especially heading into the holidays with family and all that. Like that's a really important mindset shift.
It's an opportunity.
For sure. Cool. Tell me what is we talk a lot about it's not what we have to do, it's what we get to do. What's your favorite thing you get to do in your role?
Whatever I want.
Yeah.
I would say it this way. I don't realize how crazy and busy my mind is versus maybe other people's. And I have amazing people that help sort my mind out.
Yeah.
And can push back when my ideas aren't great, but also can bring my ideas to life in better ways than I ever imagined. Shout out to Megan Gassler for that. She has a very unique trait of taking an idea of mine, totally owning it and spinning it and actually making it better.
Yeah.
To see that I can kind of be Amber Wash, shout out to her, she calls me P.T. Barnum. She's like, you're a circus act. Like, you are such a salesman. But to see people bring my circus crazy ideas to life and better than I would have ever thought and do a better job with them than I ever thought is
That's
almost
really
makes
cool.
me want to cry.
Yeah, to really understand you and then bring that out of you too. That's really cool.
And I maybe finally realizing at age 50 that my mind is really spins faster than other people's. Like it's not, again, a strength and a weakness, right?
Yeah, for sure. Stories of the year.
I need people to calm my storm.
Oh,
So
yes.
I have a certain people that calm my storm.
Yes, yeah, we need that.
Yeah, correct. Go ahead. Sorry, Jules.
No, good. So this time of year in the past, we did State of Happiness, and part of that was Stories of the Year, collecting these highlights, these moments. Maybe we don't all get to see it at all the locations, right? I know we're not at the end of the year, but we're getting there. Do you have a favorite memory or highlight so far this year?
I think just seeing Megan go through her strawberry box and all the challenges and the ripples effect of that. And again, currently just in the last month, so it's a recency bias, but seeing the changes in the DMD millwork and doors department for sure would be one of my favorites. Gosh, we did so much cool stuff this year. Virtual design taking hold and getting stronger. Our development team's getting so much stronger. Wow, that's a lot, Jules. It's a lot. There's so much good stuff. You know, offsite construction, shout out to that entire organization, that division's profitable. Big deal there. The success of our Blue Door product lines, our merchant team, that definitely should get shout out to all of them, and Amber and her amazing team. Been a blessed year for sure.
Yeah, for sure. One of my favorites is actually praying together at the pep rally. Like, just in that moment, knowing that was the right thing to do with certain team members and, people that needed it. That was really special.
And shout out to Happy and Sunshine, my 2 goldfish that I got this year.
Bring the joy.
They bring me lots of joy every day.
That's
shout out to
great.
I have 2 little goldfish in my office if people don't know that. So
Yes, that's
in a
so
big
good.
40-gallon tank that I care deeply about.
That's awesome.
Part about a love is I love the 2 little goldfish because it reminds me that I love them and they don't love me back, and that's okay.
Yeah. You care for them. Yep. There's.
Like, I love them and they don't love me back, but love is unlimited. Love's from God. God is love, and I can love on those fish, and they could give 2 shits. They just want to get fed. It looks like they like me, and I'm like, you little bastard, just want to get fed.
That's great. Life's little joys, right?
It is. It's the little things, and that's why I got them.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. How about your favorite thing to do outside of work? I'm sure maybe we've touched on that a little bit here before, but yeah.
Again, I hope the neighbors never record me or watch me, and I'm as frantic as I am here. I'm more frantic at home. So my favorite thing probably to do is the nap. And I do enjoy my grill.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that quite a bit, probably more than I should. I hunt and fish with my boys a lot, but I'm not a true outdoorsman in the sense of I like being outside. I'm always outside, so hunting and fishing just gets me outside. But I'm not real good at either one of them. My kids are better than me at both of them, and shout out to them and anybody else that's a good hunter and fisherman, because I'm not.
Good luck, everyone.
So I don't consider myself a hunter and fisherman, but I truly enjoy the outdoors. And I work out at 5 a.m. at Tri Fitness 4 or 5 days a week, and I've come to make that a habit. Don't enjoy a second of that, but somehow that came up.
Yep, that's good. Love it. How about favorite playlists when you need to chill and favorite playlists when you need to pump it up?
Chill playlist. I actually have a chill playlist, but definitely on that Noah recent show to my daughter Macy to introduce me to all that music, as well as my friend Kelly. That Kelly Narrett that works at Tri, Kelly Korth, I still call her by her our maiden name because we're grade school friends. So out to Kelly and Macy, got me on Zach Bryan and got me on Noah Kahn.
Okay.
So definitely that slower country riff artist, Noah Kahn, ZB. Shout out to them, Chris Stapleton, I like that.
I do too. He's good, feel good.
And then oddly enough, pump up music is the same.
Yeah.
Because again, I think because my brain's so
busy.
Yes. That I'm good working out to that stuff.
For sure.
Like, Thunderstruck's great and all that stuff, but it's like that's just more white noise to me. I do though sometimes just like, some just rah, almost death metal stuff, but not really. I would never put that on my playlist, so I can't say that's true, but whatever they play at the gym, it's fine.
For sure,
but, yeah, definitely that country, slower country vibe.
Cool.
Zach Bryan, Justice for Brie, by the way, hashtag if you know what that's about. So, do you know what I'm talking about, Jules?
I don't know.
Brianna Chicken Fry, right?
No, he broke up with his girlfriend.
You did tell me about
He
that.
broke up with his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Chicken Fry,
Yeah.
right. So,
Hashtag.
and then she kind of went after him
Yep,
pretty hard.
How about, let's talk a little bit industry. Favorite industry or favorite company that, maybe you have admired, have, tried to embody or learn from?
Yeah, I mean, quite a few, right? So
Yeah.
that I constantly reference at development days, if you're with me at development days. So Costco, for sure, has been a big influence on our company. I'm reading the Trader Joe's book right now.
Ooh, I want to read that.
Yeah, very interesting.
Okay.
Just got started.
Okay.
I can't put them on the list yet.
Sure.
I've never even been to a Trader
That's
Joe's.
fair.
So that's definitely not a thing. Any good local restaurants always got my attention, so I'm not even going to give anybody a shout out because that's always pretty cool, and I'm intrigued by that. Really intrigued by what Elon's got going on.
Yeah.
I actually think we don't realize it as a country. He is the Benjamin Franklin Thomas Edison of our generation, and maybe he's going to get attention now, but we don't even realize it. And maybe Benjamin Franklin Thomas Edison, people didn't realize it either. I'm
Maybe
not
not.
sure.
Until years later, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Until years later, but I think he's having a really big influence
Absolutely.
on things that are happening. I'm sure there's more companies out there that influence us, but
I know we talk a lot about, obviously, vertical integration, Quick Trip.
yeah, Quick Trip for sure.
Even like,
Integration.
obviously, Culver's and Quick Trip, to me, have
Yeah.
that same kind of consistency with just cleanliness and production and whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know of anybody that you've like kind of talked to that work higher up at Quick Trip or Culver's? Have you met anybody in those circles before?
Again, my circles are so small.
Sure.
I haven't put myself out there very much. I go from 5,000 person Kioskum to 3,000 people Campbellsport, and I
Right.
don't. You guys know me. I'm pretty
Yeah.
much here all
Yep.
the time.
Yep.
So no, I haven't made those kind of networking connections.
Yeah.
Sometimes that hurts me more. Like again, I'm my frantic brain today, but more info and meeting more people sometimes like seems to just give me more stimulus, and I gotta stay focused on what we know. I used to try to do that more often, and now I'm more like, I'm not sure that's healthy for
I
the
agree.
company or me.
And that's kind of the beauty of books, too. Like, you can take what you need and leave what
Yeah.
you don't, kind of, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
a
kind of a
little
bust.
bit.
Like when you graduate college, I was actually just talking with a professor that actually does sport management at Marion well after I was there when we were at the awards. But I had that same conversation. I'm like, you're in college, you're graduating college, you're on LinkedIn, and you're trying to connect with everybody and their brother in the field you're going into, but you're not realizing you're not making any meaningful connections. It's like less is more. Build, have 3 or 4 that you're really going to get to know and can like ask questions
Yes.
to,
Right.
as opposed to 3,000 where you're like, oh, I got their business card one time and we connected,
Yep.
and 5 years later you're like, who the hell is this person?
You kind of get promoted that when you're in your 20s, and I'm like, I didn't have a lot of, looking back, that didn't do much for my life.
Yeah, for sure. How about favorite productivity hack? Or like efficiencies. You talk about efficiencies. What's kind of your go-to life
Some things
business?
that I've really developed into habit: waking up at 4 a.m. 7 days a week, swallowing the frog. I love that mentality, which means getting the very, very hardest thing you have to do done immediately. Just swallow the son of a bitch. So swallow the frog means if you have 24 hours to swallow the frog, when would you swallow it?
Get out of the way.
You would just swallow it. Like, I'm going to kill you if you don't swallow this frog in 24 hours. I'd be like, fine, I'm going to eat it right now.
Yeah.
So get that out of the way.
True.
Some things that I coach on and believe in is write down the 3 things you want to get done today that have to get done today. And if you think about it, you work here 220 days a year. If you literally just get to your top 3 things done a year, that's 600 of your main items you wanted to get done. You had a pretty damn good year.
Yeah,
That
put
gets
it
you
that way.
focused. Getting off your damn email. I barely have checked my email all week because I don't communicate through email. Thus, people don't communicate with me through email. So email don't let that become your anchor and your communicative tool, because if you do, you are strapped to it because you're waiting for that communication to come back and forth. Get off your damn emails, productivity, make decisions. You know what's going to happen in your gut. It could be wrong, and pivot, and then I go back to that ready, fire, aim.
Yes.
In fact, yesterday we had to come up with a name for our new exterior railing. Aluminum railing. And I was, how does this actually work, right? So I'm in a meeting with, showed out to all of them, Julie, Fro, Amber, and Megan. It was like an emergency meeting. I'm like, I don't like the name, little Trader Joe homage. I don't like the name of the exterior rail company brand that they're coming out with to us. And I think we should change it. It's kind of like funny. Can we change it? I'm like, we're Drexel. Whatever.
Yeah, we get you.
Yeah, there's no rules of being a company. And we talked about Blue Door, and we have to be very, very cautious at this point with the Blue Door name. We don't want it to be Pick and Save, where everything in Pick and Save is Roundy's. So they pick a few items. And we have quite a few items going with Blue Door, so we don't really have any more because it's really a protected brand. So they sat in the room, and we just couldn't really spitball a name. I liked Midwest Rail Company Co., but it didn't really resonate with all of them. Red, White, and Blue for American Made. And Megan's like, when I was building a house, I would have think I have red, white, and blue to pick from. No.
Yep.
And then Julie just says Northern Lights Railing. I'm like, Northern Lights, it's Midwest, American Made. Kind of resonates with me. So it's Northern Lights Railing is what we that took about. They're like, I can't come up with anything else. I'm like, let's vote on it. Done. We can always switch it. Done. Who cares?
That's really cool. Yeah, how you got to that?
That's productive. I mean, you could have hired a marketing company, had 6 meetings, had a poll, sat there for days. Email chains for days. 2 weeks later, still not decided. Bring more team members in. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Northern Lights, it'll grow on you. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's great. How about favorite systems, kind of on that same side, systems or tools that you use personally or in business?
Well, big one is the tacticals that we all use now.
Yeah.
If a company's not doing ESO and tacticals and tweaking the tacticals to make it your way in your company has been great.
Agree.
Other systems in place. Drexel isn't be where your feet are. That's not really a system or a process, though. So I'm a Google guy. We lean on Google a lot here. So
I just used Gemini this week.
So did I. I finally switched from ChatGPT to Gemini.
Yeah.
So I'm a Google guy.
Yeah, it was really easy.
I thought ChatGPT was a little better as far as the content coming out.
Yeah.
But Gemini, I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah, gets you going.
I don't love the stuff that Google's doing on the back end, stealing all the data and how big they've gotten, but
that's fair.
I'm still kind of a Google guy.
Yeah. All right, let's switch to sports. I know we talk sports a lot here. If you would, and maybe this is all the time, but what would be your top 3 favorite sports right now to watch and consume? Obviously, they're seasonal, right? But
I mean, my favorite sport is basketball by far. Okay. It's not my favorite sport to watch. My favorite sport to watch is definitely NFL.
Interesting.
Probably be based on fantasy football and just America culture. Number 2 is probably college football. Besides that, I don't watch a lot of sports. I do YouTube stuff with my kids, and again, I don't watch hardly any TV. But my boys watch a lot of fishing and hunting shows.
Cool.
But not like the traditional ones. The new ones are the new young kids. They do it really cool. There's the one called Hunting Public, where they only hunt public land.
Wow.
And they wear GoPros, and it's all just like real. Yeah. Johnny B's one of the biggest fishing guys, and he just wears a GoPro, and he's just like authentic and genuine, and it's not all staged and not all.
Yes.
So them are kind of fun to watch. If I had to watch different shows that way, that's kind of where I'm at with sports, I guess.
Do you have a favorite player or a coach that you've learned some philosophies from?
Yeah, I mean, I like all the greats. I mean, John Wooden is phenomenal. I read of all his books. That's 11 titles at UCLA, but just his philosophies and his demeanor, his calmness when it came to a lot of situations, and his processes and his unwavering things. One of the coolest things I like about John Wooden is just his natural love he had is for his wife. I heard his wife has been passed away for 30 years, and stories told she still doesn't sleep on that side of the bed. Wow. He just seemed like a really cool guy. I don't know if he was or wasn't. Saban, I think, had a lot of good isms. I'm not sure he's a good dude. I can't speak to that. Belichick's an absolute genius when it comes to football. Again, I can't speak to if any of them are good dudes. You never really know if they're good dudes, unfortunately. And that's okay. Yeah. But and I try not to be a jock sniffer, if you will. I mean, we're learning that with celebrities and athletes. I think we're becoming really aware of that in the last 12 months. I think the Trump's thing is real and all that. And they're just regular people, and why the hell are we listening to them for politics or anything else? They're a freakishly great athlete that worked extremely hard to be at the top of their level, and I appreciate that for them. Leaning on them for anything else besides those things actually seems kind of weird.
Yeah, when you think about it.
Yeah, and making them into a hero is like kind of
power.
gladiator-ish. Like,
yeah.
I'm not sure that's warranted, but I do understand it and I get it, but it doesn't geek me out at all.
Yeah. When my first job out of college, my manager was in coaching, and he gave me the Wooden's Pyramid to Success, and he always pointed to the 2 cornerstones and said, if you have your work ethic and a positive attitude. Like, that's all we need. We can teach you the rest.
It used to hang up in my office.
Oh, really?
In fact, is it in here? No, I don't know what happened to it, but it was a big poster in my office. I really love that pyramid that he had created.
Yeah, really cool. Definition of success and
I'm
everything.
pretty sure
from that.
Saban was a guy, too, at least in his Bama days, that never checked his email. Obviously, he had other people and things like that would do it, but all his communication was outside of email. You know, it was face-to-face, on the phone, like, never through email. So,
how about your favorite day of the week?
Favorite day of the week?
Hard to say, hey?
I know it sounds cheesy, but I like Mondays. I like getting after it. I like my routine. Sundays sometimes can be a struggle for me because I try not to do a lot, and I get that brain going, and Sunday should be the greatest day, right? But sometimes it can be a little bit of struggle if I'm being real. Saturdays are always a fun day. That's like Saturday fun day.
Yeah.
I just like, I'm a guy of routine, so cheesy probably sounds like Mondays.
No, that's good.
Sounds horrible, right? Like, oh my gosh.
What
I just can't picture you being lazy on a Sunday. Like, I just, just how you're wired. Like, it's just,
rest,
I just can't picture that.
It's not really lazy, but it's just, again, it's like by 3 o'clock some weeks I'm like, let's go. What are we doing? It's like, oh my gosh, I still have 5 hours to chill out. So, yeah.
For sure. And when I'm doing screenings for some of our jobs, like, I love talking about the way we start Mondays. It's like, it's really unique. It's, again, a mindset. You decide. So, cool. How about your favorite trip you've ever taken?
Oh, wow. I really enjoyed Kauai.
Oh, wow.
In Hawaii.
Okay.
So I love the nature of Kauai. I love the scenery of Kauai. Love the culture. Love my favorite little coffee shop. I love the outdoor. I love the temperature of it. I loved how dressed up at a restaurant in Kauai, Hawaii was, if you were dressed up, you had flip-flops on and like a button-down shirt that was open.
Wow.
That was like dressed up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, these are my people.
For sure. This is my vibe.
Yeah. Way too long a trip. I'm not sure I'll ever go there again in my lifetime. I'm kind of looking forward, just kind of like get to know about Joel and stuff I think about. I read a lot about heaven and eternal life and the universe. And if you think about how big the universe actually is, if you like Milky Way, us and whatever, and I believe in that. And when you read a lot about near-death experiences, I've tried to read every book ever written on near-death experiences. It says it over and over again as people have had these for thousands of years. God said in the Bible, He's got a place for you and He's got a house for you. And I think there's a purpose for you. I think a lot of people think heaven is just this clouds and I think they don't get too excited. It's clouds and harps and angels. There's a purpose. There's new cities. There's new places to explore, but there's not a sense of time. So you can go do that stuff. So I'm looking forward to the trips in heaven.
Yeah, that's a good...
I really, 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 really am. But yeah, my favorite place so far is Hawaii, but I'm not much of a world traveler. Once a winter, I do like to get what I call get my feet in the sand.
Yes.
That gets me through winter. Part of traveling, I read that, part of the best part of traveling and why people should do it is it gives you hope. Because you see this thing coming up in the future.
Yes.
So you really should plan trips because it gives you this a reward coming up.
Yes.
And that's good for the soul.
It is. I've heard that too.
And to me in the winter, if I know I have something coming up where I get my feet in the sand, I start looking forward to it. Yeah,
just that question of what are you excited about this week? Or what are you excited about that's coming up? Like that little tweak.
And it's hope. Yeah. It's hope. And again, I even do that a God thing that somebody just put that in. Maybe Russell Brand, who's a recent Christian, he's been tweeting a lot about that. But you're never going to be happy here on this earth. It's impossible because what you miss is God. And God is love. So you just miss love. And you really will never be settled here. And that's why people chase porn or alcohol or drugs or busyness or whatever, money, because they're not happy here. And you have to understand you're not going to truly be happy until you're reunited with your Creator. Yeah. Geez, that was about that for deep.
That was deep.
United with your Creator.
We could cut that out and play that at the church.
That's good. All right, let's go holidays.
I am sober, so I'm not on some mushroom high here.
What's your favorite holiday season?
Great question. Again, I'm kind of a boring guy. Probably none of them. My dad says it this way. I'm so thankful Merry Christmas comes only once a year. But yeah, I mean, I like the little things in life, so sometimes I think the holidays get over-glorified, so I'm going to probably take a pass on the holidays.
Fair. Yep, fair pass. Do you have a favorite?
Not that I hate them, I don't, I think they're overhyped to some degree.
For sure. Commercialized and all, right? Do you have a favorite memory, childhood, even if it's not holiday related?
Yeah, well, I always say I peaked when I was 18 in high school, right? So I always say, you think about it, you live a life. At some point, one of the years you peaked. But everything is going to be down the road. Well, really? So you're going to peak when you're 72? And again, that could be. Shout out to 72-year-olds.
Really?
Right? But, and you always laugh. I'm like, I peaked at 18. I'm like, well, whatever. When did you peak? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, well, you peaked at some point.
Yeah.
No, I had a fun senior year, fun junior year. I was... I'm sure you're all shocked. An extremely cocky, non-humble jock, right?
Yep.
But it was fun being homecoming king and whatever, playing hoops and hanging out and being with my buddies that I still hang out with. And was that a favorite memory? That wasn't really a favorite memory. I don't know. I just went
so
to
milestone moments, yeah.
They weren't even milestones. I don't know why I brought that all up. Favorite memory? I don't know. I try to enjoy the little things in life, so... Yeah. Just the smallest little flower kind of geeks me up these days. So
for sure,
anytime I can just be calm and chill out, and I don't know, that's kind of memories are kind of a same kind of thing. They're kind of an illusion. Yeah, it's good to be with people. It's good to have real talks. Good to look at somebody in the eye. Good to see your family. The stuff that really. That really matters when you look back. Them are your favorite memories, right? When you had a really good conversation with somebody. Yeah. Good cold beer.
Yes. Those are the moments. Marcus added one here for us. You got one on the bottom. If you could open a chain restaurant in Campbellsport, what would it be?
It's got to be a chain. Got to be a chain.
Right, but can I take the question a little bit differently?
For sure.
Tried to open a Subway here once.
Really?
Probably 15 years ago. Went through all the paperwork.
Okay.
When Subways were popular, remember that?
Yes.
One, you have to be the primary manager, so you can't franchise if you aren't, right?
Gotcha.
But part of it, they take a lot of the profit the franchises do, like 10% of your sale. I'm like, oh Lord, Campbellsport's not big enough for a franchise as well. It's literally a demographic game. Okay. Now, if you have 12 locations and you want to move to a 13th, they'll sign off on anything, right? Sure. They trust you. Yeah. Newbie, they're not going to do it. If I had to do a chain, I mean, if Culver's is a chain, I mean, that's cool as hell, right? I mean, why wouldn't you do Culver's? But we had been talking about this week, so for like 25 years I've had this idea, and I think it might have root now. So if you think about it, I call this the Drexel campus now here in Campbellsport, and it really is. I've noticed that just this week. I walked to 5 different properties. Took me a couple hours to go back and forth to all of them. I'm waving to people down the street, right? It felt very campusy. Yeah. And you know what we're missing? Is the Commons. So we actually want to start something called the Commons, and it would feed the catering service. It would feed all the development centers, but also we'd come up with a menu, just like the Commons. A lunch menu once a month, posted on Facebook. For Drexel team members, it would be one meal a day from 10 to 2. Feed Drexel team members at cost, so maybe $6. We'd have it outside to the community as well, $12, posted on Facebook, Instagram. Hey, Tuesdays are meatloaf day, Fridays are breakfast days, whatever they are. Post it for the month. You can walk in, charge your credit card, and then we'd have like a wall of the a la carte airplane quick lunch food, right? Sure. Little pre-made salads, beef sticks, whatever, the token drinks. And we'd call it the Commons.
Commons. I love that.
That might have legs. We've been talking about that this week.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that. The ideas, everything. You said you've been thinking about that for long time?
Well, I always wanted to call it I always wanted to have a restaurant called the Cafeteria. And you would walk in and you'd have the green tray.
Yes.
And again, you would post it as one meal a day, and you'd make like 75 of them. When you were sold out, kind of like the barbecue joints are now.
Yes.
Old school, you'd have the silverware. You'd walk down the lunch lane. Yeah. You'd pay your $7 because it'd be modest. You sit at your big, long brown tables, and it's just literally posted as the Cafeteria.
Yeah. That's
you
great.
Literally described grade school for me right there. I just pictured everything. Once you said the brown tables.
The milk
cartons,
You'd have a milk carton still, right? You take it out of the milk cooler, and you just call it the Cafeteria. Yep. I think in a bigger city that might work.
For sure.
Could be open after bar time, right? You're just going to go to the cafeteria for $6.
Everyone's got the nostalgic memory of doing that. You know what I mean? Like going through and...
Well, and even you...
Have pizza buns, right? Yep. You have the traditional food, too.
Yep.
Mac and
cheese. Now that my son is taking hot lunch at school, it's all coming back.
Yeah, iceberg lettuce and some carrots, a little bit of applesauce. Some ranch dressing, right? It's the Cafeteria.
Right there. That's great. Oh, is there any favorites I didn't ask you that you would want to share?
Of anything?
Yeah, anything. It's, remember,
we
get
blue.
to decide. Love blue.
No, I struggle with hobbies and I struggle with favorites.
Yeah.
I wish I had more true hobbies, and I'm not easy to shop for because I don't really have some. I've always kind of wanted like something that I'd be easy to shop for, like he's a bobblehead dude or whatever.
Sure.
I was like, even when I kind of a summer at Honeycourt golfing, I was on a league, and Megan Dreher, shout out to her, she was the bartender at the time.
Okay.
I said, Megan, I'm finding my signature drink. When I die, I thought it was always cool when you're like, hey, we're going to have, my Uncle Hoobie died. I always drink Pabst Blue Ribbon. We still have Pabst Blue Ribbon on my Uncle Hoobie, right? So I'm like, I want to have my signature drink, right? So I was tapping into these different drinks all summer. You want something cool, something different, rum and coke. I tried that, but because I'm all over the board. And it was kind of a funny story. So I started doing Jameson on the rocks with a side of water. Sweet little buzz, stayed hydrated. It was great. Until one time I stayed till like 10:30 and I could barely get off my bar stool. I'm like, okay, well that's not my signature. And I've never found a favorite drink either. I haven't found a favorite food, a favorite drink. It'd be hard for somebody to put a bio on me and my favorites because it's not.
Shooter?
It's not me.
Smoothie?
Yeah, right.
That's
just a person of routine. I don't even know if that's my favorite.
Right? I know. That's a good one for sure. Okay, you ready for some quick fire? This or that? Thanksgiving edition?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, we're going to give you a little this or that.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Okay. All right, so watching football or watching Macy's parade?
Football.
Pumpkin pie.
What'd you guess?
I guessed watching football.
I guessed Macy's parade.
Okay.
I was going opposite. I was thinking like he's going to... Keep going, sorry.
Pumpkin pie or apple pie?
Pumpkin.
What'd you say?
I said apple.
Oh, all right, I said pumpkin.
All right. Turkey or ham?
Turkey.
Online shopping or braving the stores?
Online. Buy a million.
What'd you say?
I said online.
Let's go. We got a winner
There you
across
go.
the board.
There he's got it. He's been waiting to play that for weeks.
Yes. Dressing or stuffing?
What's the difference?
It's like stovetop stuffing versus like the meat and like.
Oh, the meaty one?
Yeah.
I call them both the same.
Okay.
So dressing is the meat one.
That. All right.
I love them both.
Sweet potato casserole or green bean casserole?
Green bean.
I said sweet potato.
We all got that. We all got that one wrong. You and Megan. Dress up or comfy clothes?
Comfy.
I said dress up.
I said comfy.
I know Joel really well, obviously.
Weekly podcasts have done nothing.
I just started here.
Post-dinner nap or post-dinner walk? Or lunch?
What?
Post-dinner nap or walk?
Oh, nap.
I got that wrong.
I did too. It's a walk.
Decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving or after?
It shows how complicated I am, right? Because you guys actually can't figure it out. Say that again.
I'm
What?
sorry.
After Thanksgiving. To my wife Pam, who does not listen to these, she's like got a tree up, and I'm like,
oh,
well, she
no.
actually said last night, she's like, no one appreciates all the Christmas decorations I put up, and I was like, because it's not Thanksgiving. But I didn't say that to her. We've been married a long time. I'm sorry I didn't see them. No, it's been an issue in our marriage our entire life.
Yeah. Well,
and she's the one that wants to take it down like the day after Christmas. I'm like, I'd rather put it up, if it's my perfect world, December 15th, we start, and then keep it up like January 10th. That's more my vibe.
Yeah, I like to linger a little bit
but
after
Pam, I get
Christmas.
cringy because I feel like Pam's listening and watching over my shoulder ready to punch me.
Were you after as well?
We are literally the day after. We go and cut a tree down. That's been like our family tradition. I mean, I never did that with my family because my parents always did artificial. Yeah. But I like the lights. You know, like we come into the season of darkness, and I crave the lights.
Yeah, that's
like,
kind of my wife. Yeah. No, I'm like, December 1st was always my hard one with Pam. Like nothing in November. Like let Thanksgiving rest. For sure. I'm a little bit of a hunter too, right? So it's the 9 days. But honestly, it's more of just like what I believe in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's all I got for
You
this.
missed one.
Oh, I did? No. Okay.
Do you normally host or do you travel for Thanksgiving?
If I could, or what do I do?
Oh.
What do I prefer?
Let's go with what you prefer.
Yeah.
How about that?
Again, shout out to my wife. Her and I are a lot different. She's not a true host. I would always host everything. Yes. I love to be a host.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say?
I said, I have to find it. I said host. Megan said travel.
In my dream world, right? Yeah. I would in my heavenly house, I want to have our my dream world Thanksgiving. I'd love to have an eclectic Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Like people I met, a priest.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Somebody that doesn't have anywhere else to go.
That famous question: who would you want to have? Your lunch dinner with?
Everybody. It'd be more like I would love to have an open door, right? Like, please come over, and I sincerely mean that.
Yeah.
Please stop in. Don't feel obligated, but please stop in.
Yeah, it's like the hospitality feel.
I would love that fuels my soul. Although leave early, I go to. That's part of the reason we don't host a lot is I like,
I'm ready.
whoops, you got to get going.
Yep.
Thanks for coming.
Oops.
You ever see that, like with the...
It is.
the
It's your two hands on your knees. You clap your hands and you say, oops. Whoops. Well, it's about that time, guys. Yeah, we got to get going.
Yeah. That's real.
It's
for
real,
sure.
for real.
Oh.
Once you slap the knees, and with the deep breath, yeah, well, we're out of here. Yeah.
We've all done it.
Joe
We've
wants
all
us to
done it.
leave. Yeah.
We'll cue that.
I just
right?
start cleaning up around you is what normally happens.
That's the closing time.
Yeah, but I don't
song.
I don't keep offering you beer, although obviously your drink's been empty for 15 minutes. So
Cool. Do you want to finish with a billboard of today, or what do we think?
I did the Opportunities versus Crisis, so I'm
Yeah, that was kind of your thing.
today, I think. What do you guys got on your crawler?
Oh, I heard one. I just listened to a talk by Mel Abraham, and he said, "Live a life that outlives you." And I was like, "Ooh, that's good. That's like lasting impact beyond you."
Wow.
I was like, "I want to live like that."
I'll put be where your feet are.
Yes.
I still think that resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah, I really don't have one. I mean, it just kind of a life mantra is just own it.
Yeah.
The work that you do. If you make a mistake, just own it.
Yeah.
Don't pass the blame. Don't blame somebody else. Just own it.
Love it.
Sweet sunshine.
117.
There we go.
Later.
Yo.
Peace.
Peace. Love.